This is a lot better than the rain we've had the last few days. I just want to talk about a couple things. Tax dollars. Monty talked about your tax dollars. Your tax dollars also go to pay the salaries of the Congress, 40% of whom have kids are sending their kids to private schools. Your tax dollars go to city officials here who choose to send their kids to private schools. I am 100% in favor of fixing our public schools, and I applaud our mayor and Michelle Ray for doing everything that they can to turn our public schools around. But this isn't about that. This isn't about this at all. This is about your rights, your civil right, as Kevin said, to make a choice. How many here, raise your hands, think you should have no choice whatsoever to decide your kid's future and where to send them to school? I don't think I see a hand up. Do you think that you ought to have a right, the civil right, to decide where your kids go to school and what's in their best interest? Do you think that only the Congress and the administration is smart enough to decide for you and you can't decide for yourselves? No. This is, as Kevin said, the last and most important civil rights battle in this city and in this country. And it is your right to have a decent shot for your kids and a decent education. It's going to take years to fix the public school system, years. What's going to happen to your kids during those years? It's going to be too late. You know what's going to happen. Your child goes into the first grade at a bad school. You know where they're going to be in 8 years versus where they're going to be if you get the right to choose where they go, even if it's to move to a different district where there's a good public school. My mentor was a man who worked side by side with Thurgood Marshall and wrote most of the brief for Brown versus Board of Education. You know what Brown versus Board of Education is? Everybody read about Brown versus Board of Education? We have trashed Board of Education. We have trashed Brown versus Board of Education. Your civil rights are being denied you as we stand here. I tell you, they're being taken away from you, and you need to get angry about it. You need to be upset about it. This is your future right here. We're not the future. This is the future right here. And we need to stand up for them and the people whose tax dollars pay for their salaries and choose to send their kids. Let's take their choice away from them. Let's put their kids back into public schools and not give them the choice of which public school. Why don't we have that? If we're going to take your choice away, let's take everybody's choice away. Because right now, we have choice throughout America, but we only have it for people who have some money. For people who are struggling, for working class families, who have next to nothing, or struggling to put food on the table. We don't give them a choice. We say you have a choice, but then we don't back it up with supporting you to exercise that choice. That is not choice. So I urge you, get active, get angry. When your Secretary of Education says he's not going to sacrifice his children's future while he tries to save yours, is that right? No. Bring his kids back into the district and let's put them in the schools that your kids will be forced to go back to if you don't win this battle. Thank you. I want to say one thing about Marion Barry and Kevin and the others in Baldy real quickly. This man right here put his future on the line. He knew when he stood up for you, it could cost him his political future, and it did. But he won the battle for you. We can't let him down. Mayor Barry fought most of his life for civil rights, and he's here to fight for you for these civil rights. Let's back him up.
Joe Robert, give Joe a hand. All right, now we've got all these cameras here. We just got a couple more speakers. I want all these cameras, and I'm watching the camera folks. I like the idea of watching you since y'all like to watch us, okay? Now, I want you to turn your cameras to the crowd and everybody lift up their sign so people can see the signs that these students made while they were in school to fight for their rights. Put kids first. 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 This next lady has been a supporter and has been on the board of DC Children First. She is former council member from Ward 8. I love her. She's been my sister in arms fighting for these kids, particularly east of the river. Let's give a round of applause to Sandy Allen.